Three things to say. Number one, Rams are done. They're just done. Like, none more about them. Two, that Fox doubleheader was awesome. And number three, yeah, the Vikings are for real. They're for real. They're legit. They're really good. Oh, yeah, and I said it was 3. Now it's 4. How about them Cowboys?
Kirk Cousins back to throw on 4th and 18. He's given time. He wants Jefferson. Climbs the ladder. Oh, my goodness. Justin Jefferson pulled it in. The catch of his life. But we got to look back at this.
How does he maintain possession all the way through, not allow that ball to hit the ground, and he just steals it from Cam Lewis?
Foul. Unnecessary roughness. Defense number 47. That's a 15-yard penalty.
Point here to end the third quarter.
Okay, yeah, that was one heck of a Sunday. Obviously, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to Fundamental Legacy. Hope you guys enjoyed. We've got the Week 10 NFL Sunday recap. Obviously, I'm not very happy, but there were some great games on Sunday. Obviously, the Fox doubleheader was phenomenal. The game, London game, the Munich game, which is we're going to get to just about right now, was pretty good as well. Let's get right out to Munich. First ever Germany game was pretty much a success, if you ask me.
Welcome to Munich, Germany, site of a Week 10 game of note. First ever regular season game in the history of this football. Tom Brady, play action, throws over the middle for Evans. And it's a nice grab for the all-time leader, Sucka. 9-80, flings it wide open, Julio Jones. Julio Jones trying to score. Touchdown! Fournette, touchdown! Whoa! 55-yard attempt. Myers from 55 out. He is going to throw it to Brady. Oh, and Brady slips it and picked up by Tony Quarter. Oh, my goodness gracious.
Oh, boy.
Smith is going to run it himself. He's running out of time instead. He fumbled it. Ball's loose. Nice patience, and he's free. Rashad White, one man to beat. He shoves him down. Wait, looks the other way, and it's a touchdown. Chris Godwin. Smith stepping up over the middle. Block it. Touchdown. Lots of time. Over the middle, and incomplete. Hurry. He's gonna have to go. Brady picked off. Picked off by Cody Barton. Looks for Fant. He's got it. Ruled incomplete and out of bounds.
Caught it the second time.
Smith keeps it. Thrown in the air again. For the end zone. It's caught. Touchdown. Exactly how Tom Brady snaps it. They're still singing. Look at this for Rashad White.
In the first ever NFL Germany game, the Bucs win their second in a row. I honestly, at this point, be surprised if they didn't win the South. Obviously, I wouldn't say they've run away with it yet, but they basically already have. Knocked out the Seahawks 21-16 in Munich. They played a very good game. Their best overall game of the season, in my opinion. Seahawks fought a 6-4, tough loss for them. They'll be, they honestly, them and the Niners are going to be for the division in the NFC West. But obviously, those two teams are there. Obviously, they played a decent game, though. Geno Smith was definitely great. He was really good. He had one bad fumble, got sacked a couple times, but he hit him with the ball in harm's way. 23 of 33, 275, 2 touchdowns. They didn't run the ball well whatsoever. Kenneth Walker, again, I kind of saw it last week and the week before that. Indicative of the fact that this offensive line just really doesn't have the talent or the penetration ability. Or just really the scheme. I don't think Shane Waldron's scheme's really... well, he's scheming it enough, but like at one point or another, the scheme just... It's hard when you don't have a really, really good offensive line. It's hard. But yeah, he had a tough game. Deacon Metcalf was really good. I think Kenneth Walker was, again, did what he had, did what he could. Tyler Lockett, some big catches. Of course, Marquise Goodwin had the Clutch touchdown in the fourth quarter. Noah Fant had a couple catches. Defensively, though, Jordan Brooks was really good. Cody Barton was horrific in terms of run defense and gap control, but did have an interception. Quadrati's got a stiff-armed. That's really all I got to say about him. Tariq Woolen had an interception. My bad, interception on that awful play, though. So that's really all I got for this defense. They played pretty well. For the Bucs, obviously Tom Brady wasn't perfect, but obviously other than the Leonard Fournette interception he threw, I think the Bucs offense had their best game of the season. Tom Brady 22 of 29, 258 touchdowns, interception. Rashad White, a phenomenal 22 for 105 yards. Leonard Fournette got his job done. He had a touchdown as well. Chris Godwin 6 for 71, touchdown. Mike Evans 5 for 54. He had 10.4 fantasy points for me. Not great, but not terrible. Julio Jones, of course, had that first ever NFL touchdown in Germany. Defensively, of course, Devin White had 2 sacks and 8 tackles. He made some really good open field tackles. I think he played pretty well. Obviously, Joe Tryon had a sack. He was getting pressure left and right. He's a stud. Olakundul Fadakasi didn't do anything, but he did get some pressure. Yeah, defensively they played pretty well too. It was a defensive game. Obviously, the Bucs had 490 total yards. They had 161 rushing yards, which was obviously their number one for the season. Big game for them. They obviously dominated the game of the ground. They were good up front as well. Overall, when you think about it, they just played a really good overall game. Seahawks made a couple mistakes. That's the reason they lost it. Let's get right to the keys of the game grades now. For the Seahawks, I was the same run game approach. It just did not work. But more tosses the outside. Again, they couldn't run the ball, and yeah, they couldn't set the edge either. I think that's partly on the receivers. They weren't really blocking. I'll give them an underscore offensively because they were actually able to move the ball pretty well. Again, they came through when they needed to. It was just a tough game overall. Tough sledding on the ground. They were able to find stuff to do, though, so that's why I'll give them an underscore. They definitely was one of their best games, though. Seahawks defense, under 20 points allowed. No. Under 25 minutes possession. No. And don't let Tom have the ball at the end of the game. They let him have it, end up losing. Defensively, I have to give them a minus. It was just a poorly executed game. Overall, though, in terms of, getting pressure and overall, I actually don't think they played a terrible game, but again, the execution and the game plan was not up to par for what it needed to be against a Bucs offense that was struggling mightily. For that reason, let's get to the Bucs. And for this Bucs offense, run the ball for 100 yards. You have play action shots to any scheme receiver. You have no turnovers. They had a couple bad turnovers. That's the reason I'm not giving them 5 pluses, but I'll give them 3 pluses. Obviously, their best game of the season. They looked really good. If they didn't have those turnovers, probably would have scored 30 plus points. Obviously, they could have been better, again, those turnovers, but they definitely had their best game of the season. Bucs even same thing as last week. Yeah, but pressure Geno, forcing him out to the pocket. They did. He actually made some throws there. I don't like the way they contained Geno. They really just relied on their guys making tackles, which they were able to. But again, against better teams, they're just not going to be able to do that because they're going to get their butts kicked defensively. But honestly, defensively, I'll give them 3 pluses as well. Bucs played one of their best games of the season, if not their best game of the season in Munich. See what they can do next week against, they're on their bye. I forgot that. Yeah, they're going on their bye week with first place in the division locked up. So really good for them. Obviously, going into week 12, they got some games, and obviously, they've got a lot to do. But obviously, they are 5-5. Good for them. Now let's get to the Browns and Dolphins. And dang, the Dolphins are really good.
We're in Hard Rock Stadium today, and this one is going to be fun. Play fake to Chubb. Brissett with all kinds of time and going to go deep down this side of the field. It is caught by Donovan Peoples-Jones.
First and goal.
Brissett going to throw it again. This side, end zone, touchdown. Tua pulls it down, now flips it to outside, and that is Ingold, the fullback, diving for the end zone. Touchdown.
Alert.
Chubb, right side. Lost ball. 4. Tua with time over the middle. He's got his man. This from 39 yards out to give Miami the lead. On its way and good. Tua got rid of it down the sideline. It is caught on 4th and 1. And that's not going to get it. Tua, end zone. Caught. Trent Sherfield, touchdown.
You've got to get in his face and get him to do something he doesn't want to do.
Here's Mostert with running room to the 10, the 5, touchdown.
They like to move around quite a bit.
Tua under pressure, throwing, touchdown.
Get hot at the end of the season.
This is Chubb breaking free up the sideline to the end zone for the touchdown. Wilson breaks to the outside. Got blocking in front of it. Touchdown!
And the Dolphins went they hosted the Browns and they blew them out 39-17 with them physically dominant game for them. Obviously, they won their 4th in a row. They're now 7-3. They're legit. Browns fall to 3-6. They're one of the most inconsistent teams this year. Their defense has stunk it up as well. Jacoby Brissett really just wasn't very accurate. 22 of 35, 212 and a touchdown. I don't think he played bad. It's just he wasn't very accurate again. Kareem Hunt, I don't know. He's just not very explosive. I don't know what it was. Maybe it was that injury. He just does not look good. Nick Chubb got 11 carries. I think that just tells you everything. He wasn't very efficient, though. Yeah, he had one, 33-yard run. Other than that, he had 3 yards per carry. Jacoby Brissett had 40 yards on the ground as well. He ran the ball way too much. Offensive line actually didn't play that well. Donovan Peoples-Jones for 5 for 99. He was actually really good. Amari Cooper got his absolute butt kicked by Xavier Howard. Other than that, no one else did crap. Harrison Bryant, yeah, he had a touchdown. Defensively now, Sione Takitaki, 8 tackles. Yeah, he was great. He actually played very well in my opinion. Grant Delpit, Denzel Ward, Grant Delpit saved a couple touchdowns, but again, his coverage wasn't great. But yeah, good for him. Denzel Ward honestly had one of his worst games in the season overall in coverage. He wasn't terrible against Tyreek Hill. He actually, I think, played pretty well there. But obviously against Jalen Waddle, he struggled a little bit. He stayed, but he's one of the fastest players in the NFL, if you didn't know that. So he's able to keep up with Tyreek Hill, it's crazy. Deion Jones and Greg Newsome combined for a sack. Defensively, they played a little bit of a nag, and yet Myles Garrett struggled. 2-0 and 25, 32, and 285 and 3 touchdowns. He was really good. They ran the ball down the Dolphins, Browns' throats. They ran the ball really well. Jalen Waddle for 66. Tyreek Hill only 44 yards and a touchdown, but I still think he'll probably break the record. Of course, they're going to win a bye week. Good for them. Obviously, Mike Gesicki didn't do crap, but obviously, passing game was really just quick throws, and Jalen Waddle won a nice catch downfield. Not like a deep shot, but a nice catch downfield. Christian Wilkins had a sack. Still very good. Melvin Ingram also had a sack. Bradley Chubb and Jalen Phillips combined for a sack off the edge. Again, Xavier Howard was phenomenal. And Landon Roberts and Justin Bethel didn't really key in on them. I did key in on Jerome Baker. He was really good over the middle in coverage. Didn't have to do, really just sat there and did his job. Overall total yards, the Dolphins had 491, which is crazy. They had 195 rushing yards, their season high. Really just a very good all-around good game. Obviously only gave up 1 sack. Really good game for the Dolphins. Good for you guys. Let's get right to the keys to the game grades. So this Browns offense, same approach to the start of the game with 6 linemen and heavy reliance on Mark Cooper. They kind of relied on him too much on Halloween. But Jacoby has to be able to get the ball out quicker in the gun. He actually was able to, but again, offensively, they just particularly in the third quarter, they sucked. I'll give them a minus. They just could not move the football at points in this game, and the fact they couldn't run the ball really hurt them. Browns defense, yeah, Myles Garrett didn't have a great game. I wouldn't say, yeah, he struggled. He didn't have a great game. I wouldn't say he got dominated. He just wasn't getting, the jump wasn't as good. His second step really stunk, and yeah, it was a really bad game defensively. I gotta give them 5 minuses. Just the fact that they gave 39 points and got their butts kicked. Now let's get to the Dolphins. So this Dolphins offense, no big plays won't be available if you can't run the ball efficiently. Yeah, they ran the ball pretty efficiently, asking me. 5 pluses. The reason I give you 7 or 10 or anything like that is because they had some bad drives. I'll give you that. They were not perfect, but again, they still ran the ball so well. Their defense did not get beat on play action, and again, Amari Cooper got absolutely just clamped by Xavier Howard. But I will say they weren't perfect defensively either. I'll give them 5 pluses though. I'll give them 3 pluses because again, the Browns offense was actually able to move the football somewhat decently, but again, the Dolphins defense played really well. 3 pluses, 5 pluses. Dolphins, one of the best games of the season. Now let's get to the Texans and Giants, and this game was actually particularly in the 3rd and 4th quarters, pretty entertaining.
It's week 10 of the NFL on CBS today. The Texans and the Giants. DeBrito, Jones, swing pass, catch made. Cager's got the angle. Touchdown. 2nd down and 5. Pierce has a running lane. Dameon Pierce, look at him go. Fairbairn curls it through. Down at 6. Barkley again. Barkley shot out of a cannon. Rush coming. Forced to throw. Coming back for it. Breaking a tackle. Slayton. Catch and run. Down the sideline. Slayton. Twirling. Touchdown. Floats it. End zone. Touchdown. Nico Collins. Over the shoulder grab for the score. 2nd and goal for the Giants. Given. Barkley slams it in there for the touchdown. Catch and run. Akins weaving through traffic, and Akins is still going. Will they get to Akins? Yeah. Bang. And now deep in Giants territory. Remember, Houston had gotten to the 14-yard line. Floater up in the air. Intercepted. This is a 34-yard attempt. And it's dead solid perfect. From 49 yards away, Gano connects. Possession game, but the clock is winding down. We're down to 12 seconds, taking a long time. Fairbairn knocks it through.
Okay, and in MetLife, the Giants are now 7-2. That's crazy. I am like stunned. Oh yeah, I'm sorry it doesn't sound like that, but I know. If they need to be the line next week, if they don't, they'll probably make the playoffs anyway. But I think if they're not 8-2 going into that game against the Cowboys on Thanksgiving, I'm a little concerned. I know how crazy that sounds, but it's true. Giants 24-16 win over the Texans. Texans of course are the worst team in the NFL. Davis Mills was actually pretty decent, 22 of 37, 19 touchdown interception. They were able to run the ball well. I mean, I don't know what, there were some really weird plays. A lot of their passing game was big plays, but I get it if that's what it is. Leo Collins also had a nice touchdown. Defensively, Okoronkwo was setting the edge beautifully, but again, the guys in the middle, they just struggled on Saquon. At the end of the game, they really just couldn't stop him anymore. I mean, they helped for some part. I think Blake Cashman was pretty good. Jalen Beach was basically a linebacker in this one. Jerry Hughes had a sack, Christian Kirksey, and Lee Collins combined for half a sack. They actually didn't play so bad defensively. Obviously, Saquon got 35 carries. You can't have that happen every game where he's going to get hurt again. It's just going to happen. Daniel Jones was really efficient, though, 13-17, 196 touchdowns. Offensively, again, yeah, they had a 54-yard touchdown with Darius Slayton, but their offense was got absolutely shut down at some points in the game, especially in that second quarter. I mean, field position wasn't good as well. But second and fourth quarters were not great offensively. Defensively, they played an overall pretty decent game. I wouldn't say up front they were great, though. I mean, fitting the run was definitely something they needed to do better. Cameron Thibodeau was not put in a good position to succeed. David Bell had an interception, though. Game stealing. Jason Pinnock had 1.5 sacks. Good for him. He will get a lot more playing time next week against Detroit. Leonard Williams also had half a snack, good for him. And Dexter Williams, Chad Ward, two interior guys both had sacks. Of course, we're going to look at the stats. It was actually a pretty even game overall. We look at it, obviously, the Giants had more possession time, but obviously the two generals were really the difference in this one because I honestly thought the Texans were definitely better up front, which is something to say, at least offensively. So that's all I got for this one. Now let's get right to the keys to the game grades. So this Texans offense, 50-plus runs. They didn't even get close to that. I honestly thought that's how they were going to win the game, in which they didn't do. I'll give them an underscore, though, offensively. They put up a good fight, and they kind of like the Eagles game, really. Texans defense put 9 in the box and make Daniel Jones beat you. They actually were able to do that. I don't even think Saquon had that great of a game, but again, he had 35 runs, 150 yards. So honestly, defensively, I'll actually give them an underscore. The Texans really didn't play a bad game. Obviously, I'll have to give them a plus defensively because they really did. Other than that big play, I honestly think they played with you can remember their best game this season. But on film, up front, they fit the run pretty well. Saquon really didn't have any big runs, which was huge for them. Obviously, didn't come through on the edge, and I just think that was one of the better games they played. Now let's get to the Giants. And for these football Giants, run the ball 30+ times. Obviously, play action has to be mixed. They didn't actually do that enough. Honestly, that's what I got there. I'll give them an underscore though, because again, they did have like 275 rushing yards, but 175 rushing yards. But they can't just keep this one-trick pony thing going. They lose this game if they're playing another team. Giants defense shut down Dameon Pierce, not really, and don't give Davis Mills the time in the pocket, and because eventually we'll find someone. Yeah, he found your guy's safety at the end. They came through. I'll give them a plus. Honestly, their defense wasn't great. They didn't fit the run particularly well, but they got pressure. They were able to get some penetration. That's good there. I just think they need to play better next week against Detroit, and especially better against the Cowboys when they play them on Thanksgiving. Now let's get to the Broncos and Titans. Broncos, of course, playing on Christmas this year. That game might even get flexed. I don't even know. Time for the Broncos and Titans recap.
In Nashville, Broncos quarterback Russell Wilson cooks up a connection with rookie Jalen Virgil. The undrafted wide receiver gets past Titans DB Terrence Mitchell, 66 yards to pay dirt.
That goes. Wilson. Hinton has it, and a first down at the 25. Wilson looking for Jalen Virgil. Wide open inside the 20, and he's gone. McManus from 39 yards away. His kick is good. On third down, Tannehill to the end zone, and it is Caught. Was he inbounds? Yes! Westbrook-Akine. It's a flea flicker. Henry back to Tannehill. Down the field. Westbrook-Akine all alone. Come back at the 20. And it's a touchdown! Out of Liberty, who started the last 2 games. And they lost the football. Tannehill over the middle. He's got his man for a first down. Okonkwo still going. The veteran kicker, and it is good. Here comes the blitz. Wilson on the move. Wilson trying to get there. He does. An 8. Wilson throws on the run, and it is intercepted.
And for the Titans, they're now 6-3, a boring but winning effort, I guess, against the Broncos. They're now 6-3, 17-10 win over the Broncos. Broncos stink. It's probably gonna be a bad game on Christmas against the Rams. I'll just say that. I'm not looking forward to Christmas, but hey, it is what it is. Russell Wilson was not great. 21-42, 286, 1 touchdown, 1 reception. He struggled with completions. Couple big ones. He threw, some good checkdowns, but they really struggled there. The running game was atrocious. Courtland Sutton, typical game for him. Pretty productive. Jalen Virgil had a touchdown. That was really their whole offense. They stunk. Defensively, I honestly think they were great against the run. Couple big plays because they were literally selling out to stop Derrick Henry. And, Ryan Tannehill was able to manage him against it, but I don't know if they win that game if they're not playing against the Broncos. Obviously, Jacob Martin had a sack. But again, there's not many better defenses in the NFL than the Broncos. Obviously, Derrick Henry was getting shut down because they had 9 men in the box at points. I'm not even kidding. Ryan Tannehill managed 255, 2 touchdowns. Of course, Nick Westbrook was literally half the passing offense. Okonkwo is their one big play a game type of guy, which is fine because you kind of need that. Ryan Tannehill, he needs to be better in games against better teams. Like, obviously, they're going to be playing teams where you're like, oh, God, if they can't do that. Because, again, the Giants defense, as much as I like them, they're not elite. They played really well, though. Terrence Mitchell had an interception. That's the best game in a while. They had 3, 4, 5, 6 sacks. Yeah, they were great. Obviously, where is he? Denico Autry is an absolute monster. He had like 8 pressures or something crazy like that. He didn't even have a sack, though. That was the thing. Rashad Weaver and DeMarcus Walker really stepped up. They both had 1.5 sacks. Mary Edwards Jr., Naquan Jones both had a sack, and of course Dylan Cole had a sack. Defensively, they were great. Obviously, statistically wise, pretty even in yardage, though. Obviously, big plays for the Broncos. Turnovers were even. It was really just an overall even game. Obviously, Titans played less sloppy. That's probably the reason they won. Let's get right to the keys to game grades. For this Broncos offense, run the ball like you did against the Jags. Yeah, not really. Help out Jerome Glasnow. I'm not even going to say anything. They get 5 minuses. They were awful. I'll give them 3 because he's getting those big plays, but they were just terrorists, so bad. Broncos defense, Baron Browning is your number 1 pass rusher. He didn't even play. Defensively, they shut down Derrick Henry. I'll give them 3 pluses. But when you do that with Derrick Henry, you're going to get big plays. It's just going to happen because you can't cover everybody, especially when Derrick Henry's on the other side. For that reason, I give them 3 pluses, but again, they were just not very good. They really struggle with, offensively. Now let's get to the Titans. Okay, for Tennessee, run the ball 20 times with Derrick Henry. They got close to that, but receivers needed to get 50 targets. Yeah, they got the ball to receivers. I think it's just literally Ryan Tannehill coming up when he needed to. Offensively, I think I'll give them an underscore. I didn't like how they played, but okay. But blitz rush and shut up defensively, obviously I'm giving them 5 pluses. They were really good. You know what? I'll actually give them 3 pluses. The big plays concern me just a little bit. But overall, they were definitely better than the Broncos, and that's the reason they won. Now let's get to the Saints and Steelers. Good win for the Steelers.
All right, here we go. We're past the halfway point of this 2022 season, and you got 2 teams today that are desperate to turn things around in this. Inside give to George Pickens. He's in for the touchdown. Matthew Wright, the former Steeler, was with Kansas City for a couple of games this year. Back with Pittsburgh, kicking to the open end, and he drills a field goal. Dalton has a man. It's Johnson again. He's caught it again for another touchdown.
Having for this Steelers team.
Will Lutz connects a couple of games about a month ago. Back with the team that originally signed him in 2019.
Inside.
Now setting up at the 44. Deep shot, Pickett. Looking for a man, and he's got Deontay Johnson. High snap, handled well by Harvin. The kick goes through. Dalton stays in the pocket, looks for Landry, off his hands and picked off. Pickett off the right, into the end zone, touchdown Pittsburgh. Trying to get the sneak, and he got stopped. Andy Dalton gets stuffed. Up 7 does keep them inside of a 50-yard field goal try. But that is another rocky kick. Dalton takes a deep shot. Looking for White, and it's taken away!
And in Pittsburgh, the Steelers knock off the Saints 20-10, two of the worst teams in the NFL. Saints fall 3-7. They lose their second in a row. They got a matchup with the Rams next week, a game they could win. And get back on track at home as well. Steelers, rematch of that NFC Championship back in 2020 or 2019. Steelers are now 3-6, good win for them. I mean, they're just a dump right now, but hey, they won. Andy Dalton was really bad, 17-27, 174, touchdown, 2 interceptions. A couple of those throws were just terrible. They didn't run the ball enough or well. Juwan Johnson had a touchdown. They weren't very good. That's all I gotta say. PJ Williams, okay game, 9 tackles. Didn't get to watch much of him. I'm gonna be honest here, I really didn't watch anyone but really Alontae Taylor. I mean, I got my eye on like some of their defensive line and the penetration they were creating, but like they did have 4 or 5 sacks, 6 sacks actually. But Alontae Taylor's really the only guy I was paying attention to. He didn't even play. He didn't have a great game. He's my favorite corner right now. Steelers, Kenny Pickett, average game, had 200 passing yards, 18 completions on 30 attempts. They ran the ball really well. Really well. Yeah, Jalen Warren only 4 yards per carry, but George Pickens and Kenny Pickett both had rushing touchdowns. Najee Harris, his first good game of the season, good for him. Deontay Johnson, 4 for 63 through the air as well. Defensively, Robert Spillane had 5 tackles. Levi Wallace also had 5 tackles and an interception. DeMonte Casey had an interception. What did I say? Alex Heisman, 2 sacks. T.J. Watt coming back was massive for them, obviously. But the one thing I gotta say is Matt Wright. This game could have been a lot worse than it was. But 2010's final. The Steelers had the ball for half this. They dominated time of this one. They had the ball it seemed like forever. But again, Steelers were not Saints weren't efficient with the football. That's the reason they lost it. Time for the keys to the game grades. And for NO's offense, 20+ touches with Alvin Kamara, not even close. Taysom Hill, whatever, blah blah blah. 5 minuses. That's their worst game of the season. That was a bottom for them. Saints defense don't get beat on 3rd down. They didn't. They did get some pressure on Kenny Pickett, though, and double George Pickens. They were able to. I mean, defensively, it's just really the run game they struggled. They were just trying to put Kenny Pickett on his butt, which I like, but again, didn't work out great. I'll give them an underscore, though, because they really weren't that bad. Time for the Steelers. And for the Steelers, Najee Harris has to step up. Yup, he had a good game. Kenny Pickett had 1 good deep ball the whole game, and it worked out. It really was only a deep ball attempt, and it was a big play. Good for them there. But they could have been better. There were some stupid rub routes on 3rd down. But other than that, I'll give them a plus offensively because they did score 20 points. That's one of their better games of the season. Defensively, obviously, T.J. Watt coming back, they were good. I'll give them 3 pluses. Again, I think it was more that Saints offense, but they dominated them, to say the least. Now let's get to the Lions and Bears, and this game was wild. Obviously, it's kind of an appetizer for the next one you're going to see.
The Chicago Bears take the field at Soldier Field in an NFC North clash with the Detroit Lions.
Long day for the Lions.
He'll run on 1st down. A scary start for the Lions as Fields motors across midfield. Inside of 40 yards. And Santos makes it 40 straight. You know where to find Mark Sanchez? If you don't, I'll tweet it out. 25-yard try. It's good. Oh, you didn't jinx it. Field position. Off the play fake. Fields in trouble. Steps away from the rush. Fields will throw over the middle. Coming back to help him out. And a 1st down.
Slam it open.
1st down. Goff off the play fake on the roll. In some trouble. And like a heat-seeking missile, Jack Sanborn is there to Swift on the pitch. Can he get to the edge? In the end, no! Chicago is the #1 4th down defense in the NFL this year. Lions looking for 4th and goal conversion off the play fake. Goff throws wide open. Touchdown, Brock Wright. Motion. Fields pumps. Flag down. Fields breaks the tackle. Fields on the scramble. Fields in for the touchdown. 1st and goal. Fields on the run. Throwing for the end zone. Kmet leaping high to pull it in. 2nd and 1. Fields setting up. Looking deep. Kmet wide open. He's got it. Cole Kmet to the house. 50-yard Bears touchdown. Now, and on 1st down and goal, they hand it to Swift, and Swift will coast into the end zone for a Detroit touchdown. 2nd and 18. Fields in some trouble trying to get it to Kmet, and it's intercepted. Okuda with the pick, and little one picks big one and takes it for a touchdown. And now on 3rd down, Fields will yank it, and there's room to run for Fields. Turn it on the speed. Fields on the angle, trying to outrace Okuda, and he'll beat him to the goal line for the touchdown. One as Goff gets the shotgun snap. Throws, he's got his man, it's Kennedy. Tom Kennedy on the run, and Kennedy knocked out of bounds.
And that PAT is going to come back and bite him.
Up the middle, in for the touchdown is Jamal Williams.
Man to man.
Fields in trouble. Fields chased, breaks free of 2 tacklers. Now trying to break the 3rd, and Okwara has him. Julian Okwara.
And whoa, yep. Never thought Kyra Santos was gonna miss an extra point, but he did. And what happened? Yeah, the Bears lost. Ironically, they have the same record they did last year going into Thanksgiving Day against the Lions, and they're a much better team than they were last year. Maybe not defensively, but they are definitely a better team. The Lions go to 3-6 though. I mean, they won back-to-back games. Good for them. Who knows? Maybe they upset the Giants next week. Obviously, the Bears 3-7. They've lost. What is it now? 3 in a row, I think. Wait. Who do they play? Oh, yeah, 3 in a row. But they are still playing good football offensively. Their defense is just, again, they traded everyone away. Jared Goff, 1926, 236 and touchdown. I mean, their safeties really gave them to it. Gave them some really nice completions. Of course, the big one that Tom Kennedy was coverage bust. But Jeff Okuda, that 1st-round pick might have been worth it at this point. He's been really good this year. Julian Okwara had 2 sacks. Aiden Hutchinson also had a sack. They were good defensively. Offensively, I'm not saying Brown had 10 catches for 119 yards. That was really the only one I really paid attention to. They didn't run the ball well at all, though. For the Bears, Justin Fields, 12-20, 167 yards, 2 touchdowns, interception. Of course, that 70-yard touchdown run of 69 yards, but whatever. He also had 147 total on the ground. They are just really freaking good at running the ball because of him. And yeah, he had that pick 6. Other than that, though, he was really good. And I think he runs around a little too much, but it's like calculated the way he's doing it. Other than that pick 6, which he forced the screen, which he's going to learn from. They've got a really good coaching staff there. I think he's fine. Cole Kmet had 2 touchdowns, though. Defensively, I mean, they were not good whatsoever. Like, yeah, I mean, the Lions' offense wasn't great either, but, like, geez, Jack Sanborn, yeah, he had 2 sacks. He was really the only guy I like to see. I mean, Jaquan Brisker, he's a rookie. You got to realize that. Jones Johnson, was just not great. Like, Eddie Jackson, I loved how he's been playing this year, but he was not great. I mean, now you can see he was decent. I didn't like see much from him. Obviously, they carried Santos' field goal. The Bears were definitely better overall, though. Obviously, that pick 6 really screwed them, but that was really all I got to say. Let's go right to the keys to game grades. Okay, Lions offense run the ball for more big plays with DeAndre Swift. Brock Wright has to block, be the lead blocker because Logan Stenberg can't get out there to block. And have Josh Reynolds. And obviously, 15 plus touchdown. I'm going to say Brown. Offensively, I'll actually give them a plus. You know, I'll give them 3 pluses. They did score 24 points. They grinded this one out. Jared Goff made throws when he needed to. They weren't really able to move the ball particularly well, but they did it when they needed to, and they were actually at points in the game where I'm like, they could take over, they didn't. It was a little inconsistent. I'll give them 3 pluses, though, because, again, they did come through in the end. Lions defense, just don't let Justin Fields run around. He ran around a lot, though. They had 2 big plays, obviously, the pick 6, and as well, getting some sacks to Justin Fields. But they gave up way too many rushing yards to him. I will give them a plus, though, because he's getting that pick 6. Time for the Bears. Oh, if you didn't know, I did shit the Lions grade because I just realized, yeah, they didn't really deserve it. Bears defense, yeah, offense, obviously, they did what they needed to. Obviously, the pick 6 wasn't good. I'll give them a plus, though, because, again, they look really good. Bears defense, Alquan Mohamed has to be more than impressive even play. Yeah, eventually, I think it was a little bit of a disappointing game. I got to give them a minus. But, again, with the talent they have, like, okay. Both these teams didn't put out bad games. I just think the Lions offense in the end was the best part of it. Okay, game of the year time. Yeah, this is going to be a long highlight reel, and I think you're really going to like it, of course. I guarantee you've heard about this game, but I'm giving my opinion on it now.
Well, the biggest question of the week has its answer. Welcome to Orchard Park, where the big game chill in the air. We've got the 7-1 Minnesota Vikings and the 6-2 Buffalo Bills.
Field.
3rd and long. Cousins given time. His throw is right there to Jefferson. First catch of the day for one of the NFL's best is a big one into Bills territory. Another 3rd down, 3rd and 3. Cousins looks to throw, lofting for the end zone, and Jefferson! Touchdown, Minnesota! Defense in the lead. Singletary with a 3rd consecutive carry, and this one takes him into the end zone. 2nd and goal. It is Singletary around the right side. He's got his 2nd touchdown already. From the 36, takes the fake. Cousins well protected. 2nd level, throws picked off. Christian Benford. Diggs tipped again, and incomplete. Boy, about 7 dudes. Who's got it? 10. They only bring 4. Cousins pumps, has a soft spot, has a first down to KJ Osborne. On him, straight away from 27 for Greg Joseph, who stays perfect this year for me. 2nd and short. Singletary, already 2 touchdowns. Ball comes down and the Vikings have it. A pass again. Knocked away, and either way, it's going to be Bills' ball. Pressure got away from the first man, and Josh Allen turns a sack into a big gain into Vikings territory. Floating Davis over the top for the Bills. Touchdown. Cousins off play action again. Hit as he throws, and it's picked. He threw it right to him. Again comes up with a stand. So the penalty is from 45, and it is good. 7-1, trying to win a 7th in a row today. Here's Delvin Cook on first down, and Cook's got room. Delvin Cook takes off down the sideline. There he goes. The big play. They rush just 4. Allen again rolls. On the move, lets it fly. Oh, Diggs! Oh, what a catch! Allen on 4th and 2. Keeps it alive. Josh Allen into the end zone, and it's picked by Peterson. On 2nd and 10, Cousins retreating. Scrambling and throwing to an open Thielen. Motion. Here's Ham, the fullback. Touchdown Vikings.
Should have been 5
sadness when it's been 5 years. The extra points off the upright. On 3rd and long, it's Von Miller putting his stamp on this one. Kirk Cousins back to throw on 4th and 18. He's given time. He wants Jefferson. Climbs the ladder. Oh, my goodness. Kirk Cousins, can he do it again? It's Jefferson again. It's a touchdown. The comeback kids have done it again. Sneak it. Can he break the plane? Is he in? No signal yet. Still waiting. He's short. 0 breathing room. He tries to sneak it. The ball is loose. Impossible. Do the Vikings have it? Scramble for the ball. It is a touchdown on their last breath. Yards, it's Tyler Bass. And he hooks it through. Cousins steps into it, wants Jefferson, and has him. Vikings take the lead. 2nd and 10. Allen steps up and throws an interception. Patrick Peterson. And in this heavyweight bout, the Vikings with the knockout blow.
Oh yeah, Vikings 33-30. They're legit. 7 straight one-score wins, tied for the Chiefs in 2020 for the longest streak of all time. Of course, they're now 8-1, half game back of the team that blew them out in their only loss. Obviously, the Bills fall to 6-3. They're still honestly probably going to win this Super Bowl. You never really know. It was a wild game. Of course, the Bills blew a 17-point lead. They had it with 152 left in the third quarter. Dalvin Cook had one long run. Other than that, he did not run the ball well. 81-yard touchdown though. Kirk, just sort of to Justin Jefferson at this point. I think Cooper Kupp's a better receiver. It's just going to be biased there. Obviously, Justin Jefferson he's had the best start to his career for a receiver ever. Yeah, of course, the best catch ever. You could argue ever as well. I'd put it in my top 5 for sure. You saw the play. You saw it in the top plays. That thing was insane. That was crazy. Of course, he had a touchdown as well on the first drive of the game. Kirk, 2 bad interceptions. He actually wasn't very good, but he came through when he needed to. Adam Thielen was serviceable. T.J. Hawkins had 7 for 45. Defensively, though, of course, the crazy snap fumble thing. Pat Pete, 2 interceptions, MVP of the game, in my opinion, other than, of course, Justin Jefferson. Oh, yeah, and it's kind of hard to remember. Justin Jefferson had his worst game of the season against the Eagles. Next thing you know, he bounced back against the Bills, a while later. But you got to keep that in mind as well. Danielle Hunter had a sack, though. Obviously, they were kind of crap defensively to start off this game because Zadarius Smith also had a sack. But their stars came and did their job. Of course, Pat Pete, veteran, had 2 interceptions. That's okay there. Bills, Josh Allen, I guarantee he was injected with some type of painkilling, strong painkiller that is addictive. I don't even know. He got some type of painkiller, though, because he was ripping the football around. Obviously, 2 bad interceptions that also had a touchdown. He fumbled. He's just not been great the past 2 weeks towards the elbow injury and everything. He's literally the whole running game, though. Delvin Singletary, 2 touchdowns, yeah. But, James Cook should have got more carries. I think that the Bills' scheming is just not great. They've had a tough couple of weeks. I think they'll be able to bounce back against the Browns next week. But, dang, it was a wild game. Of course, Bills are still a great team, though. Son Davis, 12 for 128. Gabe Davis, 6 for 93 and a touchdown. Okay, Lamar Hamilton, 8 tackles. He was phenomenal. I don't think Cameron Lewis got the job done, though. Christian Benford got his butt kicked. He did have an interception. Teron Johnson had 5 tackles. David Jackson had an interception. They had 1, 2, 3, 4 sacks. Von Miller, of course, a huge sack. Great call by Joe. Game call by Joe Davis. Defensively, I don't think the Bills got their job done overall, though. Of course, 480 yards for both teams. But again, this game was just so crazy. It was insane. Before the 2 picks in the red zone by Josh Allen, of course, were the difference. Obviously, the touchdown, the back snap were really bad. Of course, if you watch the Dan Orlovsky's take on it, yeah, they don't really take many understutter snaps. If you watch the Bills, I say they take about all their snaps. They take 80, well, maybe not that high, 75% or 70% of the plays are in shotgun, 30% are under center. That's probably why he muffed the snap. Okay, that's it for my game stats. Now let's get right to the keys to the game grades. For this Vikings offense, run the ball 50 times, Dalvin Cook, yeah, play action crashers, Justin Jefferson, and KJ Osborne. Yeah, it was ugly. I'm giving them 5 pluses, though. They put up 33 points on the best defense in the NFL. I don't really know what else to say. Vikings defense, if Josh plays, dump him early. They executed. Obviously, they took advantage of all the mistakes the Bills made, but again, they did not quit. 5 pluses. Here's why I'm not giving them 7 or 10. Because if Josh Allen was fully healthy, and yeah, they didn't, I'll give them 7 pluses defensively. Because offensively, I thought they still had a shot. With Justin Jefferson on the other side, I actually thought they had a shot there. But defensively, they were getting their butts kicked. Josh Allen was just throwing left and right on them. But they came through and they had the game plan play. That's the best defensive game the Vikings have played in such a long time. Time for the Bills now. So this Bills offense, let's face it, you aren't going to win the game unless you dominate the Vikings up front. They weren't able to do that really well, probably why they lost. I'll give them an underscore. I'll give them a minus. Those red zone interceptions are inexcusable. I love Josh Allen, but dang, that really sucked. Bills defense under 20 points allowed. No, and sacked Kirk 4 more times. They got a lot of pressure on Kirk. Honestly, they weren't bad there, but again, just Justin Jefferson took over. I'll actually give them an underscore, though. I don't think they played super bad. Again, they just could not get it done in the end. They held them to the field goals, though. I'll give them that. Obviously, they kind of got it done, but again, just Justin Jefferson. That's all I got to say there. Time for the NFL on CBS, and pretty entertaining game when it got to the end.
Welcome to Week 10 of the NFL season in Kansas City, where the Chiefs have hosted the last 4 years the AFC Championship game. They're in contention to do it once again.
For so long, now it's coming in here.
Oh, onside kick to start it! A game day active, 3rd and 8. Found him. Pacheco. Lost the football. Market at the 33. Holmes finds an open target. Who else? Kelsey, 40, 30. And first and goal and tight ropes for a touchdown. Yards, the season long's 52. Hold on. Nope. Third line. 7-0. Tony gets the handoff. And Tony.
This is for real on the Chiefs side. I like this offensive line.
Holmes throws end zone. Touchdown, Kansas City. Here's a 1st and 10. Holmes going end zone. And it's a touchdown. First is a Chief. Extra point. No, he missed one last week. All
Right away, all out pressure, get it off.
barely beat the play clock to the end zone. The ball is caught. And it's a touchdown by points in the last 11 seconds that he makes it. And the field goal is wide of Mark. Oh my goodness. Lawrence has hit 15 of his last 17. Is he going to throw it? Yes, he is. Flips it. There it is. Ingram with the touchdown catch. Patterson must come through. And this time he does.
Great red zone offense, this Chief team.
Seen it today. At the goal line, it's Kelsey with his first touchdown catch.
Talking about the yards, now you throw the touchdowns in.
2nd and 9. Does a great job of avoiding a sack. Got picked. Hornets to the end zone, and Kirk holds on for the touchdown. Try to get him to jump, they didn't do it. Meanwhile, trying to go long. Valdez-Scantling, what a turnaround catch.
It's just kind of hard going in from the game of the year to this, but yeah, the Chiefs took care of business, 27-17 win over the Jags. They're now the #1 seed. They probably want to keep winning though, because they've got some teams right on their tail. They're now 7-2 though. They win out, they'll definitely have the #1 seed. I don't even think they need to win out, but they probably want to. Jags fought 3-7 though. It's been a tough season for them. Of course, a lot of one-score losses. Trevor Lawrence though, some bad sacks, but he did not put the ball in harm's way, which is huge. They didn't run the ball nearly enough, in my opinion. Again, they got down really by a lot. Trevor though, 29-40, 259, 2 touchdowns. Christian Kirk. Yeah, you can say about his contract, he's the #1 receiver, though. 9 for 105, 3 touchdowns. Zay Jones was really good as well. Marvin Jones had a long catch. Defensively, Forsay Olokun got 7 tackles. Josh Allen had 4 tackles. Same thing with Rayshon Jenkins. Honestly, score of course, with that great interception. They didn't get crap at any pressure on Patrick Mahomes, but they weren't bad. I guess they got it done. Of course, Riley Patterson shanked 2 kicks. It's probably the difference in this one. Patrick Mahomes, I don't think they did crap in the 4th quarter or in the 3rd quarter, really, for the Chiefs. Obviously, Kadarius Toney had a 33-yard run or something like that, and he also had a receiving touchdown. Good for him. Of course, 20 yards of separation, which is crazy. Probably scheme, but whatever, he got open. Patrick Mahomes, 26-35, 331, 4 touchdowns, interception. I don't know. He did not look good in the second half, though, but he still took care of business. Isaac Pacheco, 16 for 82 on the ground. He did fumble, though. Travis Kelce, 6 for 81, touchdown. MVS, 3 for 40, 16 touchdown. Kadarius, 24 for 57 touchdown. Not a great first touchdown of the season, or even of his career. He had 2 catches for 20 yards. 3 different receivers got their first touchdown of the season. Kadarius Toney, first career touchdown as well. Good for him there. Obviously, Willie Gay had a sack. He just does that. He's a very good football player. I don't know what it was, but they had like 5 sacks. They got a lot of pressure. I think this defense played well. Obviously, they're going to give up some yardage in passing game because, again, they're really worried about Travis Etienne. They kind of shut him down, but I don't think they played their best game overall, though. Oh, yeah, and Harrison Butker shanked an extra point. Wasn't a shank. He just missed it. Obviously, Chiefs outgained them. They were pretty much better. Obviously, though, they had 3 turnovers, 0 turnovers. That's a little concerning, but Chiefs took care of business. Let's get right to the keys of the game grades. Okay, Jags offense won ball for 250 yards. Trevor Hassett went down in the 4th quarter, no turnovers. They did 2 of those things. 3rd thing they didn't do, probably because they lost. I'll give them a plus, though. I think they played well. Jags defense, same thing they did against the Titans, but they got it. Don't stay in the field 2 or 3 of the game. They just got down too early, and I mean, the Chiefs dominated that first half. That's why they lost it, in my opinion. I'll give them a minus, though, because they did help the Chiefs with 7 points in the second half. 4th quarter showed out. I think they got it done there. Now let's get over to Kansas City. And for KC, run the ball 15 plus times. Yep, 4 big plays on this yak charge. Yep. I think those turnovers were a little bad. I was still giving them 3 pluses, though, because they were really good. If they didn't make those turnovers, probably scored 40 points. Chiefs defense, you better be better against the run. You know, I'll just give the Chiefs offense a plus, because they weren't unfathomable or anything like that. You better be better against the run. They were somewhat, because the Jags will burn you off the line. They were actually able to do that better there. But I'll give them a plus offensively. They were pretty good. I mean, they contained them somewhat. But again, I think the Jags, the offense, played a pretty good game. Their defense played a pretty good game. It was a well-matched game there. Now let's get to the Colts and Raiders. This game was Raiders, you stink. That's all I got to say for this one.
Colts interim head coach Jeff Saturday in his debut today in Las Vegas. One of the top stories of Week 10 in the NFL. At the one, Pittman on the move. They'll shove the quarterback across, touchdown. He missed his first field goal of the season last week. But he drills this baby home. Ryan, fake. There he's got his receiver, and coming up the middle is QT. Fumbled the ball! Carr chased on the play by Day to the end zone. Caught for the touchdown! We're indoors, a 48-yard try. Attack on 3 more for the Colts. And he is perfect.
Instead of taking the flat route and maybe having a chance to get the first down, he wanted what would sure have been a first down.
McLaughlin puts it up and hits the upright. Jacobs chops in the block. Touchdown. Second down. So there's a big hole. He's off to the races. Chased by Harmon. Chased by Webb. And you can kiss him goodbye.
Hard to catch because he's got excellent speed.
For 2 and incomplete.
Stop on second down.
Zaire Franklin is back in. Here comes Buckner. There goes Carr. Caught. Adams, hold on. Here he goes. Room to roam. Touchdown. Right through the hands and incomplete. Matt Ryan moves up. He needs the 28. He's got a first down. Look at the 37-year-old quarterback run with a block from Doolin. And down the middle he goes. Here goes Campbell. Off to the races. Touchdown! Ryan. Taylor trying to reel it in. Did, but here comes the avalanche.
Get the first down.
Third down 6. To the end zone. Carr dropped by Morrow. First down. Carr blitzes on and throwing for Adams. Broken up Gilmore. There's no yellow on the play. There's no...
And in Vegas, the Raiders suck. They're 2-7. Yeah, Josh Daniels is not a good coach. Yeah, but Jeff Saturday, 1-0 his coach, 25-20 win over the Raiders. And in some unfathomable fashion, Matt Ryan is starting at 21, 28, 222 touchdown. He'll start the rest of the season. JT had one long run. I mean, good bounce back game for him. He had a touchdown as well. Obviously, Matt Ryan had one on the ground. Paris Campbell 7 for 60, 76 game-winning touchdown. Defensively, Zaire Franklin was great. Bobby Okereke was even better. Grover Stewart had a sack, and DeForest Buckner had half a sack. Of course, Chase McLaughlin missed his first kick of the season. Derek Carr, I mean, you saw him crying in the locker room. Guys aren't putting in their full effort. I think he is. Yep. Didn't run the ball well, though. I mean, Devontae Adams, another good game. 9 for 126 and a touchdown. Forrest Bro, 3 for 43 and a touchdown. They're just not getting it done. Defensively, they've been awful. I mean, Max Crosby had a sack, but he's really their whole defense at this point. Chandler Jones has regressed from anything he's been earlier in the season. Defensively, they're an absolute mess. Statistically, I mean, yeah, the Colts had 450 yards, 207 rushing yards. They really dominated this game. Obviously, the Raiders had the ball more because they were better with ball control, but the Colts played better football. Colts offense run the ball less than 50 times done. They actually kind of had to run the ball. Yeah, offensively, I'll give them a plus. Obviously, with Matt Ryan coming back, they were good. You know, I'll give them 3 pluses because who cares? Raiders defense, Colts defense, they got the job done, but again, they did give up some big plays. I'll give you that. But again, in their debut, they were good. I'll give them 3 pluses offensively as well. The Colts played a pretty good game. Time for the Raiders. And for the Raiders offense, run the ball for 30+ times with Josh Jacobs. They tried to. Play action shots to Devontae Adams and Matt Collins 5+ target times. Then, offensively, I'll give them a minus. I actually don't think they played too super bad, but defensively, oh God, 5 minuses. You cannot let Matt Ryan go in there and beat you. That just cannot happen. With the way that team was playing, just could not happen. With their defense, they got their butts kicked. That's what I got there. Raiders, you stink. You're just awful. Time for the Cardinals and Rams, and the Rams are even worse at this point.
We welcome you to SoFi Stadium for this afternoon's divisional matchup between the Los Angeles Rams and the Arizona Cardinals. Down this season, Akers in the backfield, Skoranek lined up at fullback. And here is Akers.
Play complementary football with these backup quarterbacks.
So here's Matt Gay, 36-yard attempt. Tristan Vizcaino signed yesterday. Matt Prater under the weather. Fourth kicker of the Cardinals Rams tied at 3. First and goal. Here is Potter. Takes it in for an Arizona touchdown. Wolford now 8 of 14. He's hit. Ball comes loose.
He's been all over the place. From one spot, two spot, wherever you need him to be.
To the end zone. AJ from the 41 on first down. Wolford complete. Higbee on the screen. 35. Henderson. Touchdown. McCoy fires and it's caught. Nice adjustment. Here's McCoy on 4th and 3. Looking for Rondale Moore. And Moore makes the catch. Moore with 9 receptions today. Here's Connor. Touch to the outside. Already has a touchdown today. He dives.
Howell was getting a little more action today, so good to see him get that reception.
Oh, this pass picked off. Yes, he's playing this afternoon. Buda Baker across midfield, inside the 40, down to the 30.
And Sean Harlow. Field set up.
Meant to win Defensive Player of the Year in the NFL 3 times. Wolford to the end zone. It is caught.
Yeah, I'd say the Rams are done at this point. I mean, I think they got one last thing to go to offensively, and that's really it. But they're done. Cardinals knock off the Rams, second straight year in the regular season on the road. 27-17 win for them. They're now 4-6. Rams fall to 3-6. Lose their third in a row. 5th out of their last 6. That just does not happen with the Rams. I'm sorry, it just doesn't, but it has. No, the Rams just stink. Their offense has been one of the worst in the NFL, obviously. Colt McCoy, 26 of 37, 238 touchdown. Sat back to hit the check down, did his job there. DeAndre Hopkins, really good game, 10 for 98. Running more 9 for 94, first to basically game coaching, 4th down catch. Adrian Green also had a touchdown. They blew out the Rams in my mind. They didn't run the ball particularly well, because that's because the Rams defense is pretty good. But Colt McCoy, quick throws, he did the job there. That's how you beat the Rams. But defensively, again, they got it done. 3 sacks. They just got after John Wolford, and obviously Buda Baker, that interception. Antonio Hamilton, 10 tackles. It did help that Cooper Kupp. I wouldn't say he's not out for the season, because worst game of his career, technically worst game of his career. 3 catches, -1 yards, really bad. Ty Higbee was decent, but 1 carry for Kyron Williams, that will not get it done. He needs to get a lot more than that. Darrell Henderson didn't run the ball well. He only got 6 carries, though. I mean, Cam Baker getting 6 carries is inexcusable. But, yeah, Cooper Kupp, I got one thing to say. Pray to God he's not out for the rest of the season. And pray to God that he's okay. Because that was a scary play. I thought he was done. It's looking a little better. We don't know for sure. At this point of the season, I'm just hoping Cooper Kupp is okay. Because that's really all that matters. Nick Scott was actually really good. I think he's the best player. Jalen Ramsey, I mean, whatever. Troy Hill, 5 catches, 5 tackles. David Long should get cut. He's awful. I get he's better than some of the other guys you see out there, but he's really bad. Leonard Floyd, though, had a sack. Same with Bobby Wagner. I mean, good there. Obviously, Aaron Donald is Aaron Donald. But eventually, they weren't great. I didn't love what I saw from the Rams defense, though. Obviously, the Cardinals didn't really do much offensively as expected, but the Rams suck offensively as well. That's one of the reasons they did that. Rams had 2 bad turnovers, though. Again, they couldn't get the ball to Cooper Kupp, and he got hurt as well, which really sucks. Yeah, Cardinals, they keep themselves afloat. Rams suck. Now, let's get right to the keys of the game grades. Cardinals offense, they got the job done. I'll give them a plus. I don't think they were very impressive, though. I mean, defensively, they were a lot better. But all the defenses are good against the Rams, so I'll give them a plus. Let's get to the Rams. Okay, for the Rams, offensively, I've kind of just given up at this point with them offensively. 5 minuses. Rams defense, I actually don't think they play that bad. I'm actually giving them an underscore. They weren't really that bad. Okay, I'll tell you this one thing. We won the Super Bowl. Everything we did was worth it for that reason. You cannot blame us, because when you win the Super Bowl, there aren't many teams that do that. 1 out of every team does it every year. I'm okay with what they did, but now here's your price. or your bill per se. Cowboys, Packers, let's go. This was a great compliment to that humongous game that we already recapped.
Field in Green Bay, Wisconsin. America's game of the week is a gem as the 6-2 Cowboys take on the 3-6 Packers. And to sneak it in, looks like he has got it. CeeDee Lamb in the backfield. Prescott back to throw, gets it to Lamb, who breaks a tackle and he's in. Prescott back to throw, gets it to Lamb, who breaks a tackle and he's in for the touchdown. Stunt coming. Rodgers can't find anyone, and down he goes. On the fake, Rodgers lets it fly, has Watson, he's got it on his feet, and he's in for the touchdown. Prescott over the middle, and it's intercepted again. Jones, left side, big hole, sprinting to the end zone. Four-man rush. Prescott throws end zone, Schultz in. Rodgers. This ball is loose. Scott looking deep, going deep. It is caught on the run. Second down, draw. Pollard, big hole. Pollard inside the 5, and he's in for the touchdown. Pollard back in the game. Fake it to him. Deep drop. Prescott lofting one. He's got it. Lamb gonna walk in.
I think Lazard or some sort of design check down here. You got Aaron Jones. Got all these guys up in the line. If they can find a way to get Jones out.
Rodgers steps up, going deep, has a man. It's caught. Watson is in. Touchdown, Green Bay. Jones spins out of trouble. Oh, Aaron Jones. Look at this. Inside the 25. On the fake, Rodgers floating, caught, touchdown, Watson again. Prescott in trouble, throws, incomplete. Fake, Rodgers throws, Lazard, open field, Allen Lazard in a foot race, inside the 20. Kick is up and good!
Yeah, and from Lambeau, the Packers own the Cowboys. They're down by 14 in the fourth quarter. What do? Come back, because Aaron Rodgers is that bad man. Yep, 31-28 wins for the Packers. I'm really happy for them. They're not 4-6. They probably want to win out if they want to have any shot at making the playoffs, which they could, because this is a massive momentum shifter for them. Obviously, that Titans on Thursday night, that'll be a tough game, but they are home, which is good. They know how to win games now. Dak and the Cowboys, I mean, you better win next week, and you better win on Thanksgiving. Dak, 27, 30, 46, 265, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. He telegraphed some really dumb throws, but they ran the football. Again, they ran the ball really well, but Tony Pollard had like a couple big runs. Wasn't great overall. CeeDee Lamb runs so many loose routes, which is how he plays, though. You got to realize that. Can't really change that. He had a big game, 11-50 and 2 touchdowns, but kept some Bucs 50 and obviously 2 touchdowns. But some other guys couldn't get open because of it. Dalton Schultz 6-54 and touchdown, of course. Controversial play with Michael Gallup towards the end of the game. DeMarcus Lawrence had a sack. Again, sack numbers be damned. He's a really good player. Oza Odigizua was not great. Tim Williams had a sack, though. Again, they just could not stop the run. That's the reason they lost this. Packers, Aaron Rodgers, 14-22, 24, 3 touchdowns. They ran the ball really well. Here's how they're going to win games. They're going to run the ball really well, and they're going to hit shots off play action. It'll keep working because defense is just, you can't stop it. How they're going to do that? Well, Christian Watson had 3 touchdowns. Can't stop speed either. If that connection, as shown in this picture, can be like this every single week, what happens? Packers win all their games the rest of the season. Because defensively, yeah, they weren't great, but again, Jonathan Ford had 2 interceptions, and Jair Alexander is one of the best corners in the NFL. Of course, Mason Crosby missed 1 kick, but Packers weren't perfect, but they came through in the end. Obviously, total yards for Cowboys and more because, again, they were better than most of the game. But time possession was huge. Packers were just really freaking good. Turnovers were the same. Pretty sloppy game for both teams, but again, the Packers were just better in the end. For this Cowboys offense, yeah, Dak has to be better on second down. Yup. And 30-plus runs. Maybe they got that. I think they did. Offensively, though, I got to give them an underscore. They were actually moving the football really well. Like, bailed them out their defense out a couple times, but they got their butts kicked in that end of the game. Cowboys defense now stuff the run and stall Aaron. Nope. 3 minuses. They knew what they had to do against the Packers. Stop the run. What did they not do? Stop the run. What did the Packers do? Score on them. And now let's get to the Packers, because I have a lot to say for them. Okay, Packers offense, perfectly executed. Best game of the season by far. Packers defense, don't let Tony Pollard get downfield on runs. Devondre Campbell has to be more decisive when filling gaps didn't even play. Better run fifth on third and short. They were actually money on third and short, not fourth and short, though. Defensively, I'll give them a plus. I actually don't think they played too well. I think their offense built them. I'll give them 3 pluses. Packers had to play a really good game to win. What did they do? They played a really good game. Time for Sunday Night Football.
What a sight. What a spectacular Sunday night in the San Francisco Bay Area, and 45 miles from San Francisco at the southern end of the bay, Levi's Stadium in Santa Clara. The 32, play action, shot downfield, breaking open for the touchdown. It's DeAndre Carter. Blocked, including a short one earlier. This watch out for Fred. Relevant is the backup. It is Garoppolo with time and firing in the middle. He brings it down. And he dropped the football and threw him down before he was down, and it's recovered by Asante. Here is the rookie, Cameron Dicker. What a year he's had with an adventure for 47 yards. This one just sneaks in. On the run, caught this time across the middle by Carter. Season. Cameron Dicker from 25 yards. Perfect on his NFL. Garoppolo. Nothing open. Gets out. Flag down. The crowd has it. McCaffrey. Garoppolo keeps into the end zone. Touchdown. San Francisco. Dicker from 40 ends the half with his third field goal. Garoppolo's got 5 options. Throwing end zone. It's incomplete for the lead. Instead, it's a field goal to make it a 3-point game.
Block in front that really set up that play.
They didn't sub, so they don't have to wait. McCaffrey to the goal line. In for the touchdown. Herbert gets rid of it as he got hit. It's incomplete. 6. And he does. They got off the end. Timeouts, 53 seconds. Need a touchdown. Sideline shot. And ball is Hufanga. Picking it off.
Okay, the 49ers knock off the Chargers for their 2nd straight win. They haven't lost since, what was it, week 7, I guess? Yeah, they're now 5-4. They are a half game back of the Seahawks for first place. In the NFC West, they can do that with a win next week against, who the heck are they playing? Let me think. Oh, yeah, they're playing the Cardinals in Mexico City. So, yeah, they can do that with a win there. Chargers are 5-4. Of course, they're not a great team, but they got shut out in the second half. 49ers defense is pretty darn good, if you ask me. Chargers, though, Justin Herbert again struggled in the second half. He was overall pretty good in total, though. Austin Eckler getting 6 carries is just not fair. That just should not happen. I mean, Isaiah Spiller got 4. That's really dumb. He did get some targets, though, 7 for 39. DeAndre Carter, 4 for 64, touchdown. Even though they're not giving you the looks to run it, you still got to run it because you got to show them that you will run it. Defensively, I mean, yeah, I guess a sack by Khalil Mack. I don't think they played particularly great, but, I mean, they were able to lock down the red zone. 49ers, Jimmy G was generic as they could come, 19 of 28 to 40 yards. Brandon Ayuk was money on those slant routes, 6 for 84. They ran the ball really well, though. I mean, Elijah Mitchell was a lot more efficient than Christian McCaffrey because, again, he has a bigger burst than him. That's just how it is these days. Jimmy Garoppolo and Christian McCaffrey both had touchdowns, though. Dre Greenlaw had 6 tackles. I mean, Fred Warner also had 4. Nick Bosa and Jordan Willis both had sacks. Same thing with Charles Omenihu. And Tulumu Fungo had the game-winning interception. He's been great this year. They played really well defensively. Statistically, obviously, the Niners had more yards. They were just better in the second half. That's really the reason they won it. Yeah, really how I got there. Chargers offense. Better usage of Austin Eckler. Not really. And yeah, blah, blah, blah. Offensively, I got to give them a minus. Of course, they were short-handed offensive line. I mean, Zion Johnson, he's struggled. But, I got to say, yeah, I'll give them 3 minuses. They poorly executed second half. Chargers defense, double D-ball, give McCaffrey a rub. Kevin Murray has to make every open field tackle. They actually gave McCaffrey a room. They shut down D-ball. But the thing with them is, I actually think they played pretty well. They just could not get off the field on some of those third down plays. I'll give them a plus, though, because I actually think they played a lot better than I expected them to, so good for that. Time for the 49ers. And now for San Fran, 20-plus points. 35 possession with no turnovers. Underscore for them. They didn't play very well, in my opinion. I think they just got it done, I guess. 49ers defense, remember who's getting the ball. Austin Eckler, Defensively, I'll actually give them 3 plus. The reason I give them 5 is because, again, you could argue the Chargers offense is worse than the Rams offense, and obviously, but they were coming off a bye week. They got their job done. They played a really good game if you're the 49ers. Second half shutout as well. Monday Football is, recap is coming. But yeah, that's all I got here. Let's get right to the outro. And yeah, that'll do it for this Week 10 NFL Sunday recap. Of course, first Sunday of the second half of the NFL season was worth it, because again, they had the game of the year, Vikings and Bills. People talking that for a long, long time, and obviously then complimented the Packers knocking off the Cowboys. Yeah, I really like that game. Of course, great scheduling by the NFL schedulers. But yeah, that's all I got for Week 10. Let's get right. See you in the next one.
Pressured, steps up. Pine's going to heave it deep toward the end zone, and it is